Usually you don't have to explain to them why this might be something that could be helpful. It's usually pretty self-evident. But for the rest of us, folks that don't live with severe spinal cord injury or who don't know somebody with ALS, it's not often obvious why you would want a brain implant to be able to connect and navigate a computer. And it's surprisingly nuanced to the degree that I've learned a huge amount just working with Noland in the first Neuralink clinical trial and understanding from him and his words why this device is impactful for him. And it's a nuanced topic. It can be the case that even if you can achieve the same thing, for example, with a mouse stick when navigating a computer, he doesn't have access to that mouse stick every single minute of the day. He only has access when someone is available to put it in front of him. And so a BCI can really offer a level of independence and autonomy that if it wasn't literally physically part of your body, it would be hard to achieve in any other way.
So there's a lot of fascinating aspects to what it takes to get Nolan to be able to control a cursor on the screen with his mind. You texted me something that I just love. You said, I was part of the team that interviewed and selected P1. I was in the operating room during the first human surgery, monitoring live signals coming out of the brain. I work with the user basically every day to develop new UX paradigms, decoding strategies, and I was part of the team that figured out how to recover useful BCI to new world record levels when the signal quality degraded. We'll talk about, I think, every aspect of that, but just zooming out, what was it like to be a part of that, part of that team and part of that historic, I would say, historic first?
Yeah, I think for me, this is something I've been excited about for close to 10 years now. And so to be able to be even just some small part of making it a reality is extremely exciting. A couple maybe special moments during that whole process that I'll never really truly forget. One of them is during the actual surgery. At that point in time, I know Nolan quite well. I know his family. And so I think the initial reaction when Nolan is rolled into the operating room is just a, oh shit kind of reaction. But at that point, muscle memory kicks in and you sort of go into, you let your body just do all the talking. And I have the lucky job in that particular procedure to just be in charge of monitoring the implant. So my job is to sit there to look at the signals coming off the implant, to look at the live brain data streaming off the device as threads are being inserted into the brain, and just to basically observe and make sure that nothing is going wrong or that there's no red flags or fault conditions that we need to go and investigate or pause the surgery to debug. And because I had that sort of spectator view of the surgery, I had a slightly removed perspective than I think most folks in the room. I got to sit there and think to myself, wow, that brain is moving a lot. When you look inside the little craniectomy that we stick the threads in, one thing that most people don't realize is the brain moves. The brain moves a lot when you breathe, when your heart beats, and you can see it visibly. So, that's something that I think was a surprise to me and very, very exciting to be able to see someone's brain who you physically know and have talked with at length actually pulsing and moving inside their skull.
And they used that brain to talk to you previously. Yes. And now it's right there moving.
Yep.
Actually, I didn't realize that in terms of the thread sending. So the Neuralink implant is active during surgery. So, and one thread at a time, you're able to start seeing the signal.
Yeah.
So that's part of the way you test that the thing is working.
Yeah. So actually in the operating room, right after we sort of finished all the thread insertions, I started collecting what's called broadband data. So broadband is basically the most raw form of signal you can collect from a Neuralink electrode. It's essentially a measurement of the local field potential or the voltage essentially measured by that electrode. And we have a certain mode in our application that allows us to visualize where detected spikes are. So it visualizes sort of where in the broadband signal, in its very, very raw form of the data, a neuron is actually spiking. And so one of these moments that I'll never forget as part of this whole clinical trial is seeing live in the operating room while he's still under anesthesia, beautiful spikes being shown in the application, just streaming live to a device I'm holding in my hand.
So this is no signal processing, the raw data, and then the signals processing is on top of it. You're seeing the spikes detected.
Right, yeah.
And that's a UX too.
Yes.
that looks beautiful as well.
During that procedure, there was actually a lot of cameramen in the room, so they also were curious and wanted to see. There's several neurosurgeons in the room who are all just excited to see robots taking their job.